Good morning and welcome to our full moon meditation and manifestation Kriya for today in our Kundalini yoga class. There's a lot going on in this class, so be prepared to really focus not only on the fact that it's a full moon in a few hours, and that is an amazing time to manifest and to let go of things from the past. And in order to manifest, we often have to look at forgiveness. So if we want to create something new, and of course we do, what is holding us back? Oftentimes it is a lack of forgiveness, either forgiving ourselves or forgiving somebody else, or even an institution or something like that. When we're stuck in that old pattern, we're going to miss out on manifesting some things in the here and now. So just take a breath. I also wanted to share something with you. I'll see if I can pull it up real quick before we get started. Where is that? I have to get really close. Oh, there it is. Share screen. Wasn't that hard? It's bright green. Okay. And let's try this. Okay. Can you see that?
I can.
Okay. So this is a poster, and this is called The Cycle of Evolving Humanity. And I also talk about this as the cycle of creation. So I'm going to scroll down to the bottom and walk you through it. So it's a little like a little, they call it in Australia, a willy willy, like a tornado. It's a whirlwind, but it's an upward spiral. So it's not a downward spiral. I remember being in a downward spiral in my life at one point and just telling somebody, I just feel like I'm like in a downward spiral. And I probably was. So here there's 4 stages to the spiral, to the cycle of creation. So I don't know if this is going to be confusing, but let's just say the void. Let's say it begins with the void, where we don't really know where we are, and we don't know where we're going. And we could call it the mysterious garden, because we're planting seeds, but we don't really know what's going to pop up. And I want to bring that up today because this time of year, in the fall, where we are in the northern hemisphere, is a time that relates more to the void, where we're going into more of a vulnerable state, perhaps, just like the trees do, and they lose their leaves, but things become more clear. But we don't need to know that, we don't need to have the clarity yet. So we're in the void. Something's being created. So as you go up this spiral, forget this one because this comes around. So we're going to skip over deconstruct and go right to create. So that is the next step after the void. And that is where we create some kind of a project in our lives. It could be a new job. It could be a new phase in life. It could be a new family situation. But we're in creation mode. And then we come into sustaining mode. And that's where we keep this creation going. And we enjoy it. Like we enjoy the benefits of it. And it just feels great. And it's what we created and we're loving it. So we're stopping to smell the flowers. And that won't last forever on anything. So eventually that creation project will dismantle. And we can call that the deconstruct mode. So here we're moving on this upward spiral again, up here. So we just went through deconstruct, and so that project has somehow broken down. Either intentionally we've dismantled it, or it just somehow it just broke down. And so then we go into the void again. And again, that leads to creation and sustaining and deconstruction. And again, we're on this upward spiral. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So we feel like sometimes we're going one step forward, two steps back, but really we're going two steps forward, one step back. And we're never as small as this down here again. So we have moved past that. We're on the upward spiral. We're always evolving and expanding, and so on and so on. So that's called the cycle of evolving humanity. I bring that up because a lot of people do ask me on a regular basis, or maybe they come to see me and they're in the void. That's not uncommon. So people are saying, I don't like this. I don't like the void. What is the void? No, let's get past the void. And I try to encourage them to be in this space where you don't really know what's to come. And you might be asking yourself a question, well, who am I in anyway without that last project? That thing that deconstructed. Who am I now? Take a breath on that one. I bet you felt that one. We all do this. If we're regaining our health, we're wondering, well, who am I but the person who had bad health? Or who am I but the person who was a mom and now my kids are no longer in the house? Or who am I but the person who had that job and no longer has that job? I don't know who I am anymore. And it's an unsettling place to be. But if we can just accept it and be with it. Okay, so I'm stopping the share. And let's go ahead and get started with our Kundalini aspect of the class. So we will tune in, hands at the heart center, thumbs touching the sternum, and we'll do the chant Om Namo Gurudev Namo 3 times total. Chant along or not, just listen either way. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Exhale. Deep inhale into the belly. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. One more. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Relax your hands down, breathe. That is simply a chant to ask your inner healer to come forth, and all those who came before us, because we didn't get these skills from nowhere. They came from those before us, even though those before us may not have known how to use their inner healer or have access to their inner healing. Okay, so we're doing these stomach circles now for warm up. So you inhale as you go forward, exhale around the back, keeping the mouth closed. Inhale forward through the nose, exhale around back. And this whole class could be a meditation. So right now, the meditation is the movement. There's also an eye position, so you could have your eyes closed, eyeballs looking up and in at the third eye on the inside with your eyes closed. You could have the mantra going, which is on the inhale, it is Sat, S-A-T, and on the exhale around back, it is Nam. So that could be a silent chant, but it's still having an impact, even if it's a silent chant. And it means I am truth. So, can we be here and now, in this moment, in the present, not worrying about the past or the future, that in this moment, this is who you are truth. And now go the other direction. So the moon is related to the sacral chakra and creativity, feminine energy, and wisdom. It's our emotional center in our sacral chakra. And the feminine energy has much to do with being able to receive. So I think of the void really as the receiving time. You may not know what you're receiving, but something is coming in. And maybe the more uncomfortable you are, the more it's going to be a huge shift for you. So welcome the discomfort of being in the void, of not knowing who exactly you are or what is next. And any discomfort that brings up, notice where you feel that discomfort in your body. And let it be there. Don't try to chase it away. Don't try to control it. Just let it do what it's doing. Let it bring you the sensation that it's bringing. Okay, so now we're going to sit in a quiet meditation. It's for a fairly short meditation here. So hands at the heart center again. Let your eyes look down toward the chin on the inside. Eyes are closed, looking down toward the chin or the moon center. One of the moon centers. We have multiple moon centers around our body. Same for sun, and like it's a layering effect. It shows up in multiple different places. It's all part of the holographic nature of ourselves. So just peering down at that moon center, that feminine energy, that ability to receive. You are the receiver. Continue to look down at that. Breathe through the nose. What is it that you want to manifest? What is it that you want to receive on your receiver so that you can manifest it? Who might be getting in the way? What might be in the way? Is there a disconnect to what you want to receive? Is there a lack of circuitry built around that possible manifestation? So when you think, oh, I want such and such, there's a part of you going, well, you can't have that. Because that circuit isn't built yet, but all the parts are there to build that circuit. Go ahead and feel that resistance, whatever it is. Breathe into it. Give that resistance permission to be there. Let the circuit be built, plug in, and now you're working on all power. You're not blocked from any of your power. You've made the shift, and now the body can do the work. Hands down. Let's do a little bit more warming up. So inhale, chest comes forward through the arms, holding on to the shins. If you're in easy pose, you can sit in a chair for any of this, anything what we do today. Inhale forward, exhale, round the spine back. Think about gazing up and in at the third eye with your eyes closed. And at the same time, connect that spot with the moon center in your chin. And then down to the sacral chakra, center represented by the moon energy. And this big, glorious full moon is coming into view. From the moment we recorded this, the full moon is due in about 3 or 4 hours. And this is October, so it is the hunter's moon, which is the moon, again, where, you know, in the days of the hunters, it would be said that now is the time to prepare for the long winter. Collect the food, store the food, so that we can get through that longer season of cold and challenge. We can hunker down, not have to do, like we're preparing now. And so when that void comes, you could sort of relate it to the void, that it's just okay to just wait. Just wait it out and see what comes up. You may be very surprised what starts to grow in, say, January. But give yourself plenty of time and no responsibility, you know, through that early winter if possible. As much as possible. Okay, on the next inhale, hold the breath, hold the spine up straight. And relax that down. We'll do a little rotation next. So let's do hands on the shoulders, fingers in front, thumbs in the back, upper arms parallel to the ground. Inhale, rotate left, exhale, rotate right. Eyes closed. Inhale back to center and slowly lower your arms down. Okay, and now we'll do our shoulder shrugs. So we're moving the energy upward with these movements in consecutive order. And this one is inhale, shoulders come up. Exhale, just let them drop. And on the inhale, you're not just moving the body and the physical body and the shoulders up, you're drawing up the energy from the lower triangle of the first, second, and third chakras, tailbone up to upper abdomen. Drawing up that heavy, dense energy, which can sometimes be kind of dark in that lower triangle. It's very compressed and has a lot to do with some of our deepest emotions, like shame and guilt, anger, unworthiness. Next, inhale, hold the shoulders up. Fully inhale, hold the breath in, up and in. And slowly relax. And this could just be your own natural movement, whatever feels good to you right now. I always do something because it helps move the energy. Well, I often do something. It's just intuitive. Can also, so this Kriya today is also called strengthening the aura. And so the aura is around us. And we have our own particular aura, our own unique energy center, or our, it's really our spirit energy. It includes the body, but the body is just in the middle of it. So we are more than this, like we're really taking up more space that often we don't know about. And this space out here is part of us, but it gets stuff in it. So it gets energy stuck in it. We may magnetize some energy. So to do something like this, it's just cleansing of the aura. Front and back, side to side. You could think of it as pushing away something. But let's just say, instead of like, ooh, push it away, it's more like, I am all powerful and I am projecting my energy to take up my space so that things that don't belong go away because they just don't resonate. All right? Let's do a little stretching of the legs since we'll be in easy posture a lot today. So let the back and the inner thighs really feel the stretch. Do a little gentle side to side. Activate your feet so your toes are pointing, lifting toward the sky. Could even do like a little circular thing here. And go the other direction. Okay, let's get this a little bit more active. So we're going to do the ragdoll, where you inhale, your arms come up. You exhale and gently drape or drop or droop over your one leg, and then inhale up, and then again down on the other side. Inhale up, exhale down. Let it be kind of like a ragdoll, a little bit loose. back up to center, and then a bit of a dragonfly motion, keeping the legs out like that. Let your hands come forward. Nice and slow breathing. Good stretch on those legs, the back of the legs. A little bit longer of a hold here. So you gotta make sure you're breathing. If you want, you can bring your forearms down onto the floor, get even deeper stretch, or some people could probably completely lay their torso on the floor with their hands out in front of them on the floor. But don't feel like you need to do that, because that would be the rare person who could do that. It doesn't matter how old you are. Although kids definitely have an advantage. Okay. Okay. Slowly coming up. Let your legs out in front. A little bit of a tapping up and down of the knees, the back of the knees. Rotating side to side. And coming back to easy pose, or again, you could be up on a bolster or sitting in a chair. It's all good. Okay, so we're going to do a little movement meditation. Again, this whole class could be a meditation, but there's certain things that are really going to seem like it. Okay, so I'm going to get us going. I forgot to charge my phone, but I'm going to get us going, and then I'll disappear for a minute just to grab my extension cord. But I have music for us on this one. And so it'll probably be about a 5-minute meditation on this. I just need to find my song. Maybe it's on the bottom. There it is.
Powering on. Welcome to Alltech Lansing.
Okay, I'm going to explain it. It's very simple. So hands in front of you, make a fist, thumbs outside of the fist, and as you chant the word had, H-A-R, but it sounds like H-A-D, you bring your hands to tap, or you could say hit, but tap the sides, the outer edges of your hands together, and then back. So it's ha, 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 ha. Okay? Ha. So we're going to do that. You can do the chanting on your own, or you'll hear me doing it when I get back settled down again. But I'm going to start the music, and you guys get going. Ha, 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 ha. You can have your eyes closed and either looking at the third eye or peering down into your chin. calling on the energy of the moon to manifest whatever it is that you would like. Okay, and just relax down. So that was a nice long little meditation. That probably would have felt a lot longer if we were just sitting there quietly for however many minutes. And yet, you know, that goes by pretty fast. And there's something intentional about it because it is a particular moon meditation. And we know that the full moon has to do with creating and manifesting. It's like the fattest time of the moon cycle. And so we can utilize these energies at these different times of the month to make things happen, to help things happen, to help the flow happen. Okay, so let's do a little bit of a more active part of the practice. We're going to come onto our all fours. And if you need to modify this, I totally understand and do what you need to do. But this is really like a three-legged dog and a push-up at the same time. But let's first curl the toes under, and on the exhale, raise the hips up and straighten the legs. Let the arms be extended out in front of you so you kind of push down your back toward your thighs. And now, keeping the hips balanced and equal, raise one leg up. And even if you only come down like an inch, we're going to do a little push-up series here. Trying to keep those hips balanced. Okay, bend that extended leg, bring the foot down, bring the knees down. Sit back on your heels if you can, or sit in easy pose or any comfortable seated posture. And just take a rest after that. We're going to repeat that on the other side. So really give yourself this moment of rest. And coming back to all fours. Curling the toes under, exhaling as your hips come up and legs straighten. Press into your down dog. Raise the left leg. Keep the hips balanced and do your little push-ups. Lower that leg down and again come into a resting posture. Could be an easy pose. Probably be a little sore after that one. Doesn't take much, right? Okay, so now you're going to take your left hand out in front of you, both hands really, but cross your left hand over and then turn it thumb down, and now both hands together clasp in front of you. Thumbs are pointed down. And on the inhale, you bring your arms up. On the exhale, they go down. And this one is, I think I'll put some music on for this one. Just see what we get here. Okay, here we go. It'll be an inhale up and an exhale down.
Can you feel the strength of this woman who tames? Lady of the beast who commands the reins. This is about
fire as 1,000 names. Her truth, the desire burns blood in your veins. It's the Indian tapas, it's the heat that heals. Sleeping goddess, only she reveals. Power of priestess to sing the truth. Wrathful Dakini who chants down the moon. Let this luminous light fire flame from within. Humble and demeanor, so sweet without a sin. Kundalini serpent rise from your spine. Suspended in time like a spider on a line. Weaves destinies in the fabric of we. Her majesty as divinity's queen. Initiation through shamanic dream. Dancing through space is one with the keen. And a cosmic embrace of what eyes have seen. Her power I taste, the vision is keen. Sharp as a knife that slices illusion. Threshold that holds the sacred soul fusion. A tempest of tomorrow.
If you need to take a break, feel free to honor your body.
One creation, we are all the same. Eternal elation, we are one in name. Kundalini manifest, breath, rising like a tempest, temptress. Kundalini manifest, breath, rising like a tempest, temptress. Kundalini manifest, breath, rising like a tempest, temptress. Can you feel the warm breath of this Dakini? Yes, step into the realm and you're about to be free. Like your curiosity, I see the glow of your inward illuminated soul. Whisper in your ear, it's time to let go. Safely in your ear, to dissolve and control. Surrender to the flow of, oh yeah. Mother of form, mother of storm, mother of sacred regeneration. Constantly shaping our nation. Consecration, breaking the spells like swells of a tsunami. Bring it on me. Your skin is radiant.
Now, nice and slow. Just let it rest down. Ah. Okay, yeah, we'll be sore. Okay. So this next one is part of the, what was it called? Strengthening your aura. So again, you can see how with these movements, we are clearing the aura around us. And it just allows us to be us more. To project who we really are more. Okay. If you can be in rock pose, or you can stay in easy pose, or you can be in a chair. But you just have to watch out for the chair. Okay, so we're going to inhale our arms coming up, swinging from down and back to up and in front, and you exhale down. And imagine your arms are charging and being surrounded by white light. So really use that visualization. And I'll turn that music back on.
Like a tempest, temptress. Kundalini manifest, temptress. Rising like a tempest, temptress.
Really let it swing down and back.
Attractive lady, winning with Dakini. Living, breathing, cosmic, sexual praise. Root energy, breathing in waves. Through our bodies, we're communing with a wrathful comedy. Dancing on a crumbling egos. No room here for your false heroes. Sister, be swift and freely below and above. Transcending your dependent love. Truly from the center, enter my body, my temple. Channels dark, mother, visit, live. Life is lava, uncover, Sakir. Right in the now, in the here. Will heal all your fear-based spells. Cast over patterns, returning all possessions of eternal obsession. Making vows to a vow. Kundalini manifest. Rising like a tempest, temptress. Kundalini manifest, tempress. Rising like a tempest, temptress. Kundalini manifest, tempress. Rising like a tempest.
And on the next inhale, hold it up. Stretch up. And slowly exhale down. Now go ahead and lie down on your back. We're going to do a little bit of a meditation here. If you tend to get cold, you might want a blanket now or something like that. So just see, we'll probably be here for 3 to 5 minutes, something like that. You can either have your knees bent or you can have your feet flat. Your legs flat, either way. The full moon is also seen as the climax of the monthly lunar channel cycle. The energies build and build to the full moon, and then bang, there's some full moon madness, possibly, followed by a sort of cosmic lunar sigh. At the time of the full moon, we're being asked to deal with our stuff, which is why some people may get a little loony at the full moon. The full moon is all about peaking and releasing the old. Letting go of lower energies that come from upsets or any negative events, as well as negative patterns you may have fallen into. It's about releasing toxic thoughts, habits, ways of being, and toxic people. It's when we can release the things we don't want: guilt, fear, disappointment, jealousy, anything that's counterproductive. So I mentioned forgiveness earlier. When we can forgive ourselves, someone else, institution, somehow, we can release negative emotions, fears, upsets, arguments, disappointments, dramas, and wrongdoings. And forgiveness, I'm not saying it's necessarily easy, but it is the path to our own happiness and our own growth. So we're not forgiving the other person for their sake. We're doing it for our own sake, for our own healing. And there's 5 steps to forgiveness. So the first one is to forgive yourself. You may not think of that as the first one, but it is. And then forgive the other person. So maybe easier said than done. I get it. But you can just visualize yourself saying, I forgive you. I forgive you. Even if it doesn't feel true yet, that is the path to forgiveness. So intentionally stating, I forgive you. Even raising up those individuals or organizations that we feel we were harmed by. Imagine them doing well. What is that saying? It's like the tide, high tide raises all boats. Like, we want to be a part of that. So when we can send loving energy even to those who harmed us, we raise ourselves up. Saving that song for next. Okay, and then let's see. That was number 2. Number 3, I'll go through these quickly. Number 3 is give the other person permission to forgive you. Now, you may have never thought about it like that. But if you can think about it like that, that means that you can maybe take on some little grain of responsibility for that situation. Even if it was simply that you manifested in this body with this family, that was somehow your choice, so that you're not the victim here, that you have some ability to manifest what this really is, what's really happening here. A situation may feel bad, but in reality, you may have needed that exact situation in order to learn a certain lesson that was destined for you in this lifetime. Number 4, be thankful and grateful for the situation. And number 5, learn the lesson, whatever that lesson was. So it doesn't mean you have to go back and be in the presence of those people or that situation, because we can learn the lesson that, no, we don't need that anymore. And thank you for showing us that. Thank you. All right. Okay, so there's one more. So stretch a little bit now so that you can work your way back up. Take a few moments to stretch your arms and your legs. And you can either roll to your side and push yourself up with your arms, or you can do the rock and rolling that we like to do for the back massage at the same time. Either way is fine. And then we're going to come up and do a final meditation, which is going to take probably at least 10 minutes. And this is again this is part of the cleansing of the aura and the moon manifestation chakra, the full moon. So our mudra, or our hand position for this part of the meditation, there's going to be a mudra, hand position. There's going to be a mantra, something that is chanted, but there will be a song to help us chant that. And so our hands come together, especially at the bottom. Think of touching the bottom of your palms together near the heel of your hand, and opening the lotus flower as it comes up toward your third eye, and then turning your hands so the back of your hands are touching and fingers facing down, and you lower that back down again. So on the way up, the chant is Sa. I know what I wanted to do. Let's see if I can put this in the chat. Let's see if it worked. There's a lot here, but just know you can read this later if you want to. explains the chant. But as the hands go upward, we're doing the sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa sa so rum, and then as we come down, we do the second part, hare had had, and so on. But it'll be to the song. So it'll be going up, opening the lotus, and on the second part of the chant, we work our way back down like that. Okay, so I'm going to put the music on. And you can sing along or not. It's like the lotus is opening on a new creation. The roots dive deep, and the lotus opens. Okay. Just resting your arms down. Place your hands in dove pose. For women, left hand over the right. Just breathing, feeling, noticing. If you're feeling like, wow, that was really long and boring, feel that. That is how we build a certain ability to tolerate things that are uncomfortable, is just allow ourselves to feel them when we're feeling them. Or maybe you had a completely opposite experience, or whatever it is that you noticed or are noticing now is perfect. And slowly lower your arms down. Take a couple breaths right here, maybe a little movement. Hands back to the heart center. We'll finish the class with a long Sat, S-A-T, and a short Nam, N-A-M chant. Inhale through the nose. Nam. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for our full moon meditation and Kriya. This recording shall be available if you want it. I'm not sure how I'm going to send it out yet, but let me know if you want it. And, take the next 24 hours to let this all just like process and soak in and welcome anything that happens from it. So I'm going to stop the recording.